Brent and I are going to tell you a little bit about why we are here. I am so excited about the theme of connecting for wellness because connection has been a huge part of my story. Connection has really helped in my own mental health struggles. I connected with my parents when I explained to them what was going on with me. I didn't understand it, and neither did I, and so together we navigated the mental health system, which seemed very dark and very confusing most of the time. I communicated and attempted to connect with a doctor that I really didn't like. I felt like she didn't understand me, and so I left her and connected with another doctor that I really liked. She is a huge contributor to why I'm still here today. I connected with my brother when he was put on medication, and so was I. I also connected with him, and both of us had to drop out of university because we were struggling and needed to get help. I connected with him because he truly understood what I was going through. I connected with my friends when I explained to them that I didn't understand why I was crying so much, and that I was still the Sarah that they knew and loved, but I was definitely going through something. I explained to them that I didn't know why, and I didn't know when it was going to end. I connected to other people that were struggling. We would share stories and tears and inspiring text messages to each other when we just needed to tell each other that we just needed to get through one more day. I connected with myself when I would write in my journal and tried to do meditation on my own and really worked on my own sleep pattern so that I could go back to work and go back to school. I connected with Brent. We worked together at the Kelty Mental Health Resource Center for 3 years, and he has continued to be my friend and a huge source of laughter and support to me. And now I'm connecting to all of you, here, on the stage, at the Balancing Our Minds Youth Summit, and you're connecting to each other, because today you've given up a day of your lives to be here, so that all of us can connect. I am currently working as a peer support worker with Inner City Youth, supporting other young people based on my own lived experience. I also have the privilege to be part of a peer support training program to train other young people who have their own lived experience to uncover the skills and talents that they already have so they can go out there and connect with other young people who are walking in similar shoes to the shoes that they walked in. And now I'm going to turn it over to Brent to tell you about his magnificent self.
Sounds good. Well, let's give a round of applause for Sarah. She's awesome. This girl inspires me every day, and it's an honor to stand here beside her. And if I'm sharing a little bit about myself, to be honest, I consider myself the least likely person to be standing here and involved in mental health at all. When I was in high school, I was big into hockey, and I started playing junior A hockey and trying to get a scholarship to the US. And after high school, that didn't really work out, so I moved up to Whistler for a couple years and just sort of bummed around up there. But realized that really wasn't going anywhere, so I decided to give college a try. And I tried to make this big transition in my life from sort of party guy to active, engaged student. And I thought this would be an easy process. I thought it would maybe take a couple months just to change sort of who I was. And I had no idea the struggles I'd go through trying to change my life. I was trying really hard, but struggling with that transition. And the end result, a couple years later, was diagnosed with schizophrenia after a suicide attempt while I was in the hospital. And schizophrenia, one of the main symptoms of schizophrenia is psychosis. Now, I don't wish psychosis on my worst enemy. You're having delusions where you're believing and thinking things that aren't true. You're having hallucinations, seeing and hearing things that aren't real. And one of my biggest symptoms in this paranoia was paranoia and thinking people wanted to kill me, thinking the world was coming to an end, and thinking I was going to die at any moment in just horrible, horrible ways. While I was in the hospital, I peed my pants twice, paralyzed by fear. One time it was in the lunchroom in front of everybody. That's how bad it was. But when I got out of that hospital, two things happened, and two things came into my mind. The first was, if I ever recover, I want to start an organization to help other young people that are going through similar struggles, because that pain, the emotional pain, the isolation I felt was so bad. And the second thing was I wanted to get as fit and healthy as possible so I'd never go through that again. And I thought I might start an organization in 10 years or so, but about a year and a half later, I started a student club at my school called Students for Mental Wellness. It's where we made the YouTube videos, we did activities. And I started opening up and sharing my story. I pretty much went around school telling people I had schizophrenia. It's called social suicide. But that's not what happened. Instead, people welcomed me in and accepted me, and I didn't share that with them for them to feel sorry for me. I just said, this is what I was going through, this is what I'm dealing with, and I'm still the same person. And the community, talking about connecting, like Sarah was talking about, the community of my school, the mental health community, my friends, family, just supported me so much. I just wanted to work in the field. And so now I run a social enterprise called Mavericks, and we run 3 main programs: an EDGE high school training program, the LEAP Academy, it's speaker training for youth that want to share their story in mental health, and Mind versus Mountain, which is a mountain project I'm working on. And talking about getting fit and healthy, I started having this idea early on that I wanted to climb Mount Everest. And I don't know where that idea came from, but over the years, I just slowly kept working towards that, or about the last 5 years. And then just last month, I climbed Aconcagua, the highest peak in South America, and I'm on my way to climbing Mount Everest, hopefully in next year. And that's, to me, that idea that mental illness is no longer a life sentence, like we often think it is. And that idea that you don't have to have mental health hold you back from living your dreams, right? And so if I can do these things with schizophrenia, what can all you do? And that's part of the message today. So I do this because I just love it. It's a lot of fun, great people. It's amazing to connect with all you guys today. I hope to meet a lot of you at the tables and the booths and in between the breaks. Let's just have fun today, build some community, have some fun, listen to some inspiring speakers, and thank you all for listening to a bit of my story.
Round of applause for Brent. So we encourage you throughout today to use social media as much as possible, and the hashtag is BOM Summit. So please post things on your Instagram, on your Twitter throughout the day while they're speakers. We would love to hear your thoughts, what you think about the speakers, anything that you have to say, any messages you want to share before we're able to all chat with each other later this afternoon. It's a tradition for Brent and I to take a selfie together that all of you need to be in and post it on social media to get the conversation going.
So guys behind us, wave your hands in the air. Woo! We will post that up, have a look, get on there, continue the conversation, and have some fun with it. I'd also like to mention another new thing for this year is a Facebook group we created to stay connected after today. And that group, if you search it on Facebook, you can do that right now or later in the day or after you go home, is Balancing Our Minds Youth Summit. And just search that in Facebook, and that group will pop up. You can join it. And that's a way to hear about opportunities, hear about what's going on, share what you guys are doing in your communities and schools, and just a way for us all to stay connected after today, which we've never really done before. So it's a little bit of an experiment, so we encourage you to join that. We'll be posting things, and many other people will be posting opportunities and things going on in the mental health community in British Columbia. Also want to mention that this event is organized by BC Children's Hospital, so we appreciate their support, and it's made possible by the Canucks for Kids Fund and Coast Capital Savings. So we want to give a big round of applause for that support, for making this possible for you guys. We also really want to thank and so appreciative of the Canucks for this beautiful space and all they're doing in the community around mental health. So let's give them a round of applause.
Talking about mental health can be hard sometimes, and so if anything comes up for you through the stories that are being told today, or stories that people, your peers and the people around you are telling you, and you just really need to check in with yourself throughout the day and just see how you're feeling, and if you need to get away from the noise, away from the people, away from the space, and just really check in with yourself. We have supportive listeners, which are amazing volunteers from the Crisis Center that are wearing these glorious yellow shirts. And they are going to be in section 104, which is just right up here to my left. If you go down section 104 and through the glass doors on the left, They will be there just to chat with you, support you, listen to kind of what's going on for you, and they are going to be around all day. Woo!
Woo!
That's for our listeners.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
We also really want to encourage you to fill out an evaluation survey after this event. It'll be emailed to you all. It really helps us make this event better each year. For example, the whole discussion breaking out sessions at the end of the day, that came from feedback from you guys from past years. So that'll be probably emailed by your teacher, counselor after the day, and we'd love if you fill that out.